Hello nieces, hello nephews, it's your Uncle Charles here and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we do unbiased technical analysis. Now looking at the daily chart here, you can see we got that second close above that 200 daily moving average. That was very crucial because that was the critical level that was cleared yesterday. If that level would have been lost, I definitely would have been a little more bearish, played that false breakout. But today, we got that second close, so the bulls showed some follow through. However, the bears showed some follow through as well. Okay, they showed some presence as well, and we're gonna talk about that. Let's go. So looking at the daily chart, right? I mentioned how we had that critical trend line from January high connecting to March 2022 high to August 16th 2022 high as well. Okay, the breakout of that trend line for today was the 48.5 to 48 zone. I give it a zone, some buffer room. Okay, but mostly 48.5 was the breakout level. Today SPY opened around 408.77, so it gave us a small gap up above that trend line this morning, and that was mentioned in my Discord, how I wrote I got first support at 48 to 48.5 zone, and with the first resistance 49.5 to 410. Okay, so anytime the market opens, I always try to identify the first support, the immediate support zone or level, and the immediate resistance zone or level. Okay, you see on the 15-minute chart here, look at this. Right on that 10 o'clock candle, it hit the 410 level perfectly and broke down that 48.5 to 408 zone. That was based on the multi-month trend line on the daily chart. Broke it down and it triggered a very nice move, which was alerted to the group. And we got this nice drop, went as low as 4.75. Didn't quite hit the 200-day moving average around 4.4ish. But it bounced. And then, it gave us one nice tradable move, and then the rest of the day, this is where it sucked, in my opinion. It just pretty much chopped, in this very weak melt-up move all the way to the end of the day. You see on this yellow trend line, and it broke down at the end of the day, but even still, it's not showing much follow through to the downside. So definitely the day was not as awesome as yesterday, right? And we look at this daily chart, you can't really tell how the market respected this multi-month trend line. But you can clearly see it here. Breaking down that level triggered a strong move to the downside. And then as it melted up to the very end of the day, it respected clearly once we finally tested it. And it dropped. A nice little weak drop though. Okay? So we saw some bullish presence. We saw some bearish presence intraday. Okay? But that's usually what happens when we have a choppy day. Alright? Not much direction. But we do have NFP tomorrow at 8:30, okay? Forecast is 200K. That may serve as a catalyst. I'm hoping it does. Even though it's 8:30 in the morning, a lot of times the volatility does carry over into the, during the market hours. So hopefully that is what happens and we can get a very nice move. I don't care if it's to the upside or to the downside, but we got to pay attention to the bear case scenario and the bull case scenario, which I'm about to talk about right now. Now, obviously, this multi-month trend line, it's very critical. So if there was any spot for the bears to step up, you would think it would be right here, okay? Right, so far, we're not getting the strong reaction or a strong rejection, okay? We're getting some games being played here by the market makers. But the bear case scenario, we all, technically we are testing this zone. Okay, that we can say that's the fourth touch of that trend line, multi-month trend line. The bear case scenario, I need to see that 200-day moving average, which is technically at 43.94. It could pop to 44 tomorrow, but I need to see that fail. Okay, give us that false breakout setup. Give us the false breakout setup, and I will turn bearish. Okay, remember back in early April. Okay, we cleared it in late March. The 200-day moving average gave us a false breakout when we broke it back down back in early April. Okay, back tested it as a resistant, back testing ghost strategy on April 21st, and it dropped down, gave us this nice, the next leg down. So if you're going to ask me, Uncle Charters, when would you swing puts? I would swing puts if that 200-day moving average failed, okay? False breakout setup. As long as above, okay, bull case scenario. As long as above, SPY has a chance to pop up, okay? Below the 200-day moving average, we could see more downside, maybe drop back down to the 400 level, 398 level, or even down to the 397 level, which would be the support level of this rising wedge, okay? Break down that 200-day moving average. Maybe we can go test those levels. We break down that rising wedge around 397. I would swing puts even more or add to my position, because that would be very, very bearish for the SPY, okay? We tested the fourth time, that multi-month trend line. I just need to see SPY show follow through and break down some critical support levels, starting with that 200-day moving average. Got some levels between that, but the next critical one would be 397 based on the rising wedge pattern. All right, that's the bear case scenario. Bull case scenario: break out that multi-month trend line 408. Okay, the breakout of the rising wedge is 410. Breakout 410. Okay, maybe we can go test 411. Previous pivot high right here, 411.7 ish from September 12th. And then I have a fib level at 414. We go test that. Okay, 414 would be pretty, critical level there, because that is the 50% fib level from January down to October. Okay, cleared that. I have 418.2 next. That's another fib level from March 2020 low to January high. Okay, 23.6 fib level. Okay, that's the bull case scenario, but it starts with the breakout of this multi-month trend line. Breakout 408 and breakout 410. Okay, we had a hot stove rejection at 410 today. Market clearly recognizes this level. We need to see the price action bust through those levels to get more bullish. Okay, you guys got my bearish case scenario. You guys got my bullish case scenario. Let the price action guide you. That means wait for the setups to play out. Breakdown of support. Breakout of resistance. False breakout. False breakdowns. Okay, remember, if we break back below the 200-day moving average, that is a false breakout setup. Very bearish. Okay, but if we break out of that multi-month trend line, that's very bullish. Okay, that's a breakout. Looking at triple Q tested that 50% fib level, okay, from August high down to October low, around 294.3-ish, but it could not close above. It did defend some support levels, okay. I had support around 290.7. That's the 23.6 fib level, okay, from November high down to October low. November of last year down to October 2022. So yeah, it back tested support. It held. That is a bullish price action behavior, but still gotta show follow through and clear that resistance at 294.34 to trigger more upside up to 297, 300, and maybe 303.8. That's a 61.8 fib level. Okay, to be bearish, I just need to see it drop back below 290.7. That will put 287.7, 284.8, and 281.8-ish back in play. Okay? Dow Jones, the critical level that it cleared was 343. We had a wash below it today. It dropped as low as 341.69, but was able to recapture it intraday and close back above it on the daily chart. Okay? So that 343 level, very critical. If it breaks down and actually closes below and holds as resistant, I'm talking about that 343 level. That's very bearish. False breakout setup. Okay? But as long as above 343, bulls still got a shot. All right? 346 and 348.6s with 351 is still in play. Okay? Can't get bearish until 343 is lost, with 340, 338, then 336.5 in play, and possibly even lower. Maybe down to 332.6. All right? Apple, it's not... it's still below this trend line that I got here, okay, with multiple touches. A breakout of it would definitely be bullish, but it's still below it. However, It did defend support. Support did held the 61.8 fib level from August high. Excuse me, messed up again. 61.8 fib level from June low to August high. Okay, it defended as support, as you can see, at 147. Okay, so bulls continue. They need to continue holding that 147 level as support, but they need to show follow through. Take out that 149.7 level. That is a fib level, but it's also breakout of this downtrend channel. I would be bullish. Okay, RSI is far from overbought, so if we break out this trend line, it's pretty ideal to break out. And if we break out, that'd be very bullish. Swing calls. Just my opinion. Do your own due diligence, okay? Next price target above that would be 152.6, 153.6, 155.8, and 158, okay? Tesla, I just want you guys to notice this orange line. That's a triangle pattern, okay? We broke down that triangle pattern back in November 7th. Got very close to back testing it as a resistant today. Okay, so bears showed some presence today. Okay, however, resistance is at 200 of that line, of that trend line. If it clears, if it recaptures, that's very bullish. That's a false breakdown setup. Very bullish with 208 and 208. Before 208, I got 210.3ish, 215, and then 222 would be in play, okay? But it needs to clear 200. Support right now is at 192.5ish, 190, 188, yes, and then of course 185.8, okay? Very bearish if 185.8 fails as a support. All right, now let's look at some of the inverse stuff. This is VIX. VIX is still continuing to look bearish, guys. Okay, it broke down that 20 support level. I got support at 20. So next support is at 19. Is this a sign of greed, guys? Because we're not seeing much fear right now in the market, despite pretty high inflation, but not much fear right now, guys. Could be greed, but it's not overextended to the downside though. Low Bollinger Bands around 19.4, so it does have some more room to go down. But RSI is approaching the oversold territory, but it inverses the SPY. As long as it's bearish, that means the SPY could still be bullish and have more room to the upside. Okay, but yeah, look at that big body red candles, guys. I can't be bullish on VIX until it gets above 22.5. Critical resistant level there. And then you look at the dollar index. It broke down my ascending triangle today. Okay, so the next critical support I got is at 104.337. If that fails, it's gonna get a whole lot more bearish for the dollar index. Okay, as long as the dollar index is looking bearish, it's like I said, similar to VIX, SPY is gonna be bullish. All right, usually that's the tendency. But to be bullish, DXY, the dollar index, needs to recapture this breakdown level. Okay, 105.353. Recapture that, give us a false breakdown setup, and maybe we can go back and test 106.614 and break out this ascending triangle at 107.134. Okay, guys, now let's end this with the option flow. I'm doing a little something different. Shout out to Cosmos. But filter for 500K premiums or above, and I'm doing above the ask price. So I'm looking for the more aggressive plays by big money. And you're going to see a little bit less contracts, but these are the most aggressive ones. And overall, very bearish, okay? These are some aggressive ones. 338 strike price, 356 strike price. What the heck? Okay? 404, 370 strike price. They all got time on them. They got plenty of time on them. Except for this one. This sweet one has over 5,000 in size, 388 strike price, but December 16th. So this one got a couple weeks. Not as much time as the other ones. This one 398. But yeah, big money is pretty bearish aggressively to the downside right now. Triple Q, 100%. Keep in mind my filters. I'm just looking for the above ask, so they might not meet my what I'm looking for requirement. I'm looking for the most aggressive ones. But yeah, only 2,000 in contracts. that doesn't say much. Dow Jones 0. Tesla, nothing that fits my criteria, so not worth looking at. But you know, going back to the SPY, we can see that big money's overall bearish on it. Okay, guys, so thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more content from Uncle Charles, please consider joining my Discord. I got a Christmas deal going on. Please use the coupon if you decide to join. And also, you can always subscribe to my Substack. It's a lot cheaper. And I just hope that I can bring you guys value. And if I do, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it so much. Peace.